this video. We've been running the same system and the same thing. Although the car's been very successful with what we've done with it, and for what it was, it worked. But here's the thing, is for what we have in this car, tuning wise, I'm pretty happy with what we've actually were able to accomplish. For those of you guys that are new to the channel, that's an A9L in a box. So I'm gonna take you today on a little bit of a ride along. Last time we ran the car, we were in Delaware. And we drove through a pretty big stick shift field, had a good time. Everything worked. Sitting on the shelf that we've been sitting on for a number of years to get this stuff installed, because I really think we're we're leaving horsepower and ET on the table for sure. So we're gonna head back to the shop. I got a couple things I'm gonna show you that's gonna, I think, change the game for this car in current form, in current setup. So like I had mentioned earlier in the video, so we got an A9L here in a box. It's an old unit that I've repaired a couple times. This is the cord for the laptop. But nonetheless, this is a Moats quarter horse system hooked up on a binary editor that we actually tune on a laptop. This is probably about 20 years old or so. It's not really something that is efficient. And for what it is, we've done very well with this setup for this car and what we've managed to achieve horsepower and with ET as well. And I'm definitely happy with the way it works. But we're gonna go here in the shop. We're gonna show you what the next tuning and horsepower is for this car. And one of my biggest issues that I have with this car is boost control. So I've had a couple Terminator X kits sitting here on the shelf, probably a number of years, but to show you here in the box some of the changes that have been made. And I had sent it off to Dan at MF Customs to have it modified. What you have here is your basic Holley Terminator X 937F kit for a foxbody Mustang. These are no longer in production. However, Anderson Ford Motorsport, they do sell a kit similar to it. That's called a Gen 2 kit. Most of the stuff we actually retained here from the kit. There's a lot of things I didn't actually have to send to Dan at MF Customs to get modified. This is kind of a messy situation here. So you pretty much got the rest of your kit here. I got a couple low dollar sensors from their site. Well, let me get into what we have from MF Customs. The way this kit's been modified pretty much makes for a relatively easy install on your foxbody Mustang. So what I actually did was I took the necessary components out of the original box and shipped them off to MF Customs. So if you've already got a Terminator X kit and you're looking to possibly get it modified, MF Customs is the people you want to get a hold of. But let me show you what they've done for us here on the channel. Customs, we're going to go over some of the stuff that has been changed while it was at MF Customs and some stuff that you guys are going to want to listen to. So first things first, we're going to address the TFI. The TFI was shielded and it was grounded properly. There was a better connector put on it because there was sort of a seat issue with the connector. It's got a better positive connection straight to the distributor. So there was quite a bit on the TFI that was actually changed. One of the major issues that you had with the Terminator X as well is they had several different connectors on them. So there was like, they didn't have like the standard Ford plugs when you went to install them. You had like a standard products or even possibly you have a GM plug, which required you to hack up half of your harness. This Gen 2 harness that's being sold over Anderson, if you're gonna buy a Terminator kit and you're gonna get a Terminator X kit, the Gen 2 kits, they're gonna make the install of the Terminator X that much better, that much easier. And it cuts the install of the Terminator X pretty much in half just doing this changeover. So at the TPS, there was a plug that wasn't Ford, so they switched it from a standard or GM plug to a Ford connector. There was also a couple other plugs that were changed. The air charge temperature sensor had its plug removed and changed over to a Ford OEM style plug. The CTS sensor, the coolant temp sensor, that also was changed over to a Ford style plug. The original Terminator X kit wasn't really a direct bolt in. So another one of the add-ons with Donnie B's kit at Anderson Ford Motorsports with the Gen 2 is this can splitter. So you can make multiple connections with this, including a digital dash, a tuning software. So this doesn't come with the actual kit. So this is the actual TFI adapter that I was talking about earlier when we were talking about the TFI. And you can see it's got the original Ford plug on it. So this is not included actually in the kit, but you can source these two plugs out and they can help you at Anderson Ford Motorsport. They can help you figure out black and gray connectors. And 92, 93 has just a brown one, 91 as well. And you just have to tap into about 4 of these wires, tack signal and your oil pressure and water temp. So you only have to have a couple of these. Last but not least, and probably one of the most important things with the IAC valve, I'm going to actually have Donnie B from Anderson Ford Motorsports go ahead and explain it to you. Donnie, I appreciate you helping me with this video.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. All right, so the factory Holley harness came with a standard products generic connector for the Ford idle air control motor. The way Holley wired it up from their factory was they just had it power up directly through the ECU power. And as soon as you flip the key in the on position, that means the idle air control motor is also getting its full power. The way that we did it, and of course this would cause issues for some people not knowing exactly how to set up their idle air control motor. The way that we had Danny do it at MF Customs and the way that we wanted the spec out was closer to what Ford did from the factory. Not only did we replace the connector with a more OEM correct connector, we also had it get its power directly from the injector harness versus directly from the ECU. The control motor doesn't get its power until you start cranking the vehicle, which is closer to what Ford did.
Not only is it going to cut the install in half, and we're changing a couple connectors to make them fit better, but there's actually quite a bit of functionality that was changed in this, and specifically with what they changed on the TFI harness and what they did with the IAC, which Donnie B at Anderson Ford Motorsports just talked to you guys about. Well, Donnie, I appreciate you joining us here on this video. If they have any questions about it, they can reach you at
AndersonFordMotorsport.com. And of course, our phone number is on the website as well. And if they have any questions about any of the Gen 2 kits, we do sell the harnesses, the Gen 2 harness by itself. Anyone needs a direct or a full Holley kit, we do sell a Gen 2 that includes everything that Dan just talked about.
Donnie's done a ton of field work with that, and he's very knowledgeable with all the Holley products, as he's also a Holley dealer. I think this is going to change the game for what we got going on with the white fox body. We got a lot of work to do, but this will make the install a lot less headache, and we'll be able to get the dual Mac valves in and get a boost controller stuff set up. So if you guys are out there and you already own a Terminator X kit and you want to get it converted over, go over and message Dan over at MF Customs to get it converted, or you can get a hold of Donnie B at Anderson Ford Motorsports if you're missing a couple of the things for your build. If you're looking to buy a new kit, there's multiple pieces. You might have just the ECU and need the harness or whatever. This is geared towards fox body people, pretty much using more of the OEM style stuff in their car. and this is geared to make the install a lot easier. All right, folks, that's pretty much all I got for the video. Big shout out to Donnie B over at Anderson Ford Motorsports for helping me out. If you guys got any questions about what's going on with the Terminator X and the Gen 2 kit, but the current software that's in our white car is over 20 years old, and it's time for us to do the upgrade that we've been wanting to do for a long time. As you can't be mad at what it's done, can't be mad at where we went with it, but there's definitely horsepower and there's definitely ET on the shelf that we've been leaving without having the tunability fact. If you guys enjoy this sort of content, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, let me know what you think. I just wanted to basically introduce you to where we're headed to with the white car very shortly, as we're going to start doing the install videos and we're going to start doing the tuning videos very soon. A couple Mac valves, boost control, you know what I'm saying. I appreciate everybody for watching. We'll see you soon in the next video.